full of shit. And the reason I say that Ryan Clark full of shit, come to find out, you talk about Rgiii and his wife being white and him not understanding what Angel Reese goes through because he's not having conversations with black women. But Ryan Clark, you are married to a black woman and got another woman pregnant while you're married to that black woman. And that woman that you got pregnant was a white lady. So you have an interracial child as well. So it's wild that when you pick up all these guys and their skeletons in their closet, it's crazy the stuff that we see what's going on. And like I said, you pull the curtain back just a little bit. It's kind of like, are you able to speak on certain situations? Mm-hmm. So let me play Ryan Clark video first, and then we're going to go to Rgiii's response. I might have to do it the other way. Hold on.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when Rgiii jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about Rgiii is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now, if you're Rgiii, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with Rgiii, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her, and now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it.
BS. You finna play his response.
You gonna play the response? Well, I'm gonna say something since that video fresh. One thing I want to say. I follow RG3, and he never makes any disparaging comments against Black women. I've never seen him make one. Not one. Now he do make a little weird stuff about his wife and stuff like that. And then, like, I remember they had like little videos in the kitchen. It was probably like like some that Black. It was viral, but it was like a lot of couples was doing what they was like grabbing the ass of their wives or something. And his wife really ain't got no ass, so it was supposed to be like a little joke. You know, she's a white girl with a flat ass, but it put me like a little joke. So, like I said, they do a little corny stuff, kind of put you in the mind like how cool he be with his white girlfriend or wife, whatever she's supposed to be. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, like I think a lot of those guys, when they get in relationships with, I guess, white women or outside of their race, it kind of like it's still an elephant in the room type shit. Like I'm gonna address it, but then I'm gonna try to make light of it so it won't seem as bad. But then it's kind of like, why do you have to do that? If you're confident in the person you decide to marry, why do you got to make all of these little racist jokes? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sitting around with a Black woman making a stereotypical joke with a Black woman.
And I saw they did a side by side of Ryan Clark's wife and RG3 wife. And now, like I said, I don't really play into the, and I used to be super pro Black.
Yeah.
I used to be, and I started looking at it, and I started seeing the conversations where it's white supremacy as the white, and you start looking at things through a universal lens or a 360 lens. If you giving credit to a certain group as to why you're there, you also give them the power to either keep you there or take you out of it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So at some point, the conversation is going to get away from, or has gotten away from, self-accountability and what we want to do and what we should be doing for our best interest versus waiting for white man or whoever to fix a system so we can get it too. No, you there's adversity in this world that you're going to have to overcome. This is one of them. And I understand there's still effects of slavery that run deep. However, a lot of the behaviors are not, it's beyond the racism. It's beyond the white supremacy. And you look at Ryan, I seen RG3's wife. She's a beautiful white chick, and I think that's intimidating to Black men that can't get that.
And see, the thing is, we're gonna keep it a buck. In America, a white woman still is a trophy when it comes to the women.
The blonde, blue-eyed white woman is America's gift. That's the white man's trophy. So if you got a white woman, slim figure, in shape, elegant, classy, and you say, well, she's submitting to him, she's committed to him,
right?
What kind of value that he has to what he got? Because we know classism is always there,
right?
So because you got the white women at the top, and then now you got the, well, now it's circling, is you got the Asian woman who's kind of being coveted, but that's kind of here there. But you got the white Asian, Latina, then you got this Black woman, and this is not my word, these are just studies, but that show this is the best woman to wife. Not saying she's
for status.
Yeah, for status, for family, for certain things, a certain lifestyle. These are the women that men are seeking more. So it speaks to the insecurities in a Black man that can't get there or wasn't able to get it. You just able to get a baby mama out of it.
Right. And so, like I said, another thing is we always talk about interracial. Like, I believe they're biracial. I don't believe they're Black or white, but a lot of people believe one little drop of Black, you Black. A lot of people believe that, right?
Yeah.
So he got 4 daughters. What do you mean he not in there having a conversation with his daughters about being a Black woman? Because technically they would be Black by a lot of people's standards. But then we got the girl up here that's doing the dance. That everybody hating, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes,
the one that getting the 6 bands.
Then the Cinder,
something like that. Yeah. Now, but then we have her, and they keep calling her a white girl. And she said, my dad is Black. My dad is Black. And I'm like, if y'all see my nephew, you'll think he's a white boy. He got blonde hair, straight hair, no curl, no kink, no nothing. He looks just like a white boy. So it's like we have these conversations, y'all pick and choose on when somebody black, white, or when they biracial, depending on if you like them or not. But like I said, if we having a conversation, a real conversation, Ryan Clark, you cheated on your black wife with a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You can't be, like I said, you can't be talking about what Rgiii conversation he's having when your actions show that you will even sneak out on your wife and get on your wife with a white woman and get her pregnant.
And if you just look at the two, you look at Rgiii, his presentation, he's very articulate. He's a clean cut black man in shape. Right. You can tell he take care of himself. That's what that is. That boils down to envy, because you're taking a conversation that has been going on for so many ages. There are going to be comparisons in competitive sports at that level. From the NFL, right, they're going to compare the greats. From the NBA, they're going to compare the greats. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe. It's always going to be a comparison. But just my unbiased opinion, I watched a few clips and a few pieces of the WNBA game, and I watched how Angel Reese plays versus Caitlin Clark. Is night and day as far as skill set and talent.
I agree.
It is night and day. Caitlin Clark is a better basketball player than Angel Reese at their position.
I agree. I think and like Rgiii basically was saying, like, you acting like you finna punch Caitlin Clark. That's why I say it's hate, because when the other people foul you hard, your ass get up and go to the free throw line. It ain't all that. We got to separate y'all. Yeah. But now you got to get up and like you finna punch Caitlin Clark. And I bet everybody was looking at you like, bitch, you about to fuck the money up. Yeah. If you go punch her and she out, ain't nobody coming to see us no more. Every time she come to this arena, it's packed. And you want to go punch the cash cow?
They ain't gonna let it happen. You're gonna get fined heavily.
Do you know how crazy? And see, that's the thing with the difference between women and men. Because even when you talk about Magic and Larry Bird, you know, they try to put them together. Mm-hmm. Then they say, you know what, we ain't gonna play in that. Then they start getting on commercials together. Mm-hmm. They say, hey, we gonna work together. Yeah. It ain't gonna be no separate. And that's what Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark should do. Hey, we gonna the race shit, we not even finna play into that. Mm-hmm. But then you start seeing when they was out there playing, because a lot of the black athletes were saying, hey man, I get it. We out here competing. We out here playing. But y'all need to let Angel Reese get off. Y'all keep filing her hard. Caitlin Clark hard. Hey, she bringing eyeballs here. We trying to get this money. Y'all don't understand what's going on because y'all keep talking about money, but the girl that's bringing the money, y'all want to foul and hurt her and do all this type of low down shit to her. Let her go. Because if me and you was out there, they say, hey, you know, maybe this year he gonna get us maybe 10 mil a piece. Let that nigga get off this year. After we get the money, then we're gonna play. We'll worry about that shit later. And I get it. Like I said, it's about competitive nature, but I think men understand the bigger picture. Because I always say women don't have no foresight. That's why they get in the situations that they do when they're like being baby mamas and shit. So, like I said, with this situation, I just don't like men pandering to black women, or like I said, using terms coon, sambo, all of that other terms to try to make themselves seem like they black or more down, more for the cause, like they finna go walk across a motherfucking bridge and get sprayed with motherfucking hoses and get bit by dogs. No, yeah, y'all ain't finna do none of shit. We all finna sit around and have our difference of opinions and shit like that, and then we should be able to have that. That's one of the issues in the black community, is we're not allowed to have a difference of opinion, a different talking point, because if we still keep the same talking points and the same ideologies and the same ideas that we've been having for the last 60 years, we're going to be in the same position, in the same spot the next 60 years. So I think when somebody has a new talking point, a refreshing talking point, or a refreshing thought, we might need to give it a chance, because we just seen what y'all done did for the vast majority of the last 60 years, when y'all all thought the same, moved the same, marched the same, had the same talking points. We ain't got nowhere, because we still saying the same shit in 2025. Yeah. That's how I feel.
You gonna play Rgiii response?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Rgiii response.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rgiii.
I forgot it's working now. I ain't know what came up though. Right. I thought it was gonna play.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rgiii, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits. And Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, you crossed the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always.
And I agree. Like I said, for me to give you a basketball take, just a simple basketball take, and you got to go about my wife, and I'm basically not down with the culture because I've been married to 2 white women. I got these mixed kids. Like, yeah, I don't think that's cool.
And like I said, you also got to look at this as entertainment, so it's monetized. So a lot of this stuff, I would, take it with a grain of salt to, these scripts, hey, y'all go at each other the same way Steve and A Skip and all them Shannon Sharp when they was doing it. I like I said, so I think it's, it's somewhere, I ain't gonna say scripted, but scripted because we need ratings.
I don't think this one is scripted, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't think this one's scripted. Because it's Rgiii. This is the worst person to try to have like even like his response. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to garner.
It's not going to be fired.
Yeah, it's not going to be fired. It's not going to garner any attention. So I don't think this one was. Now, if he was if this was Stephen A. Smith with a white woman and how Stephen A. Smith, I would be like, okay, maybe this because Stephen A. gonna come with it, put the videos out.
And the other part of that may not be with Rgiii, but you would have had other personalities trying to pick it and say, why did he go with him? Like you got the third parties on the outside looking in.
You got Marcellus Wilder. He just